Imagine a winter night. You're at home. Heat is on, lights are working, everything functioning. The cold outside doesn't worry you because inside it's warm. Until the power goes out. The heater shuts off, the lights disappear, the silence becomes heavy. For the first hour, it doesn't seem serious. You grab a blanket, put on a jacket, wait for power to return. But as hours pass, the cold advances, and an uncomfortable reality emerges. You don't know how to stay warm without electricity. You don't know how to retain heat. You don't know which actions actually work. You don't know how long your body can handle this. And the most disturbing part, almost nobody knows. A skill that kept humanity alive for thousands of years was completely forgotten in 2 generations. Leave a comment now. Could you keep yourself warm for 24 hours without power? Be honest.
The inescapable reality. For most of human history, staying warm wasn't about comfort. It was about life or death. There was no option to turn on the heater, no backup, no quick rescue. If you didn't know how to generate and maintain heat, you simply didn't survive winter. The medieval peasant. Think of a common peasant in 13th century Europe. Harsh winter, external temperature 5 degrees Fahrenheit. His house, thick stone or timber walls, central hearth, few points of heat loss. His clothing, layers of wool, leather at critical points, nothing left to chance. He knew where heat accumulated in the house, which clothes to wear in which order, how to keep fire burning for hours with minimal fuel, when the body was in danger. This knowledge wasn't optional. It was passed from father to son, mother to daughter, for generations. Now, your modern home, your electric heater, your lightweight synthetic clothes, you press a button and it's warm. But if that button stops working, what do? The uncomfortable truth, most people wouldn't know. Not because they're incapable, but because they never needed to learn. If this bothers you, like this video now, because what comes next is even more disturbing. The fundamental difference. The difference isn't technological, it's about dependence. The medieval peasant had redundant knowledge, multiple strategies, thermal autonomy. You have one system that works or doesn't work. When it works, it's perfect. When it fails, you discover how vulnerable you really are.
Trusting a single point. Here's the mistake we made. We completely outsourced our thermal survival to external systems, electric heaters, piped gas, central heating. And when these systems work, they work perfectly, convenient, efficient, comfortable. But they all share a critical vulnerability. They depend on external infrastructure. When systems fail, this isn't theory. 2021, Texas, United States, unexpected winter storm. Power grid collapses, millions without electricity. For days, modern homes, designed for air conditioning and central heating, drop to 14 degrees Fahrenheit inside. People died inside their own homes, not from lack of resources, but from lack of knowledge. They didn't know how to insulate a single room, which materials actually retain heat, how to prevent hypothermia indoors. Not an isolated case. 2022 Europe, energy crisis. Prices skyrocketed. Many turned off heating to save money. Result? Hospitals filled with hypothermia cases. Not in mountains, not in remote locations, in urban apartments. The pattern is clear. When power fails, even temporarily, people have no plan B. Comment if you've experienced a winter power outage. How was it? How long did it last? The body lost adaptation. There's another more subtle problem. When warmth is always automatic, the body adapts in the wrong direction. Studies show people living in always climate-controlled environments have lower tolerance to thermal variations,
lower efficiency of vasoconstriction or vasodilation, slower response to temperature changes, faster onset of discomfort. It's not weakness, it's adaptation to environment. If your body never needs to regulate temperature alone, it loses practice. Heat that doesn't warm. Another critical error: we heat the air, not the environment. Modern heaters work like this: heat the air, hot air circulates, you feel warm. But turn off the heater. How long until the warmth disappears? 2 to 3 hours. Why? Because air doesn't store heat, it only transports it. How it was different in the past. Old systems heated the structure, the walls, the floor, massive objects. The central hearth didn't just heat air, it heated everything around. Heated stone releases heat for 8 to 12 hours. Heated solid wood releases heat for 6 to 10 hours. You let the fire die, and the house stayed warm for hours because heat was stored, not just circulating. Share with someone tired of high energy bills. This might change their perspective.
Thermal mass. We return to the fundamental concept. Thermal mass. Dense materials absorb heat slowly, store for hours, release gradually. Examples: stone absorbs heat from fire, holds for 10 to 12 hours, releases constantly. Brick or ceramic, similar to stone, excellent retention, used in masonry heaters. Water has highest thermal capacity of all, used in bottles as portable heaters, holds heat for 6 to 8 hours. How to use this today? If power goes out, you can 1. Create a thermal battery. Heat bricks or stones in the oven. If you have gas, wrap in towels, place near body or in bed. Heat duration 6 to 10 hours. 2. Hot water bottles. Boil water, put in heat-safe bottles, wrap in fabric, holds heat for 4 to 6 hours. 3. Isolate a single room. Choose the smallest. Cover windows with thick blankets. Seal gaps with towels. Concentrate body heat there. The body as generator. Something few people know: your body generates about 100 watts of heat constantly. At rest. During light activity, 150 to 200 watts. In a small room, 100 square feet, well insulated, 2 people generate enough heat to raise temperature by 9 to 14 degrees. That's why medieval families slept together, not just for space, for thermal survival. Clothing that actually works. When there's no heating, clothing is everything. What works? Wool layers. Retains heat even when wet, breathes naturally, doesn't trap sweat. Extremity coverage. Wool hat, 40% of heat lost through head. Thick wool socks, gloves. Floor insulation. Cold floor steals heat rapidly. Use thick rugs, cardboard, any insulator. What doesn't work? Thin synthetic clothing. Doesn't insulate, traps moisture, gets cold when wet. Cotton absorbs moisture, loses insulation completely. Dangerous in extreme cold. Comment: do you have wool clothing at home? How many layers? Intelligent movement. Another secret: movement generates heat, but not just any movement. Fast, intense movements generate heat quickly, but also sweat. Sweat cools you afterward. Better strategy: moderate, constant movements. Stretching, light walking indoors, light push-ups or squats. Keeps circulation active. Generates heat without excessive sweating. Thermal nutrition. Something the ancients knew. Certain foods generate more heat during digestion. Proteins and fats take longer to digest, generate heat for hours. Thermic effect of food. Simple carbohydrates digest quickly, quick energy but brief. less sustained heat. Hot liquids, teas, broths, and soups, warm from the inside out, maintain hydration.
Modern homes are thermal traps. Here's something architects rarely admit. Most modern homes were designed assuming constant power. Without power, thin walls lose heat in hours. No thermal mass. Insulation depends on active systems. Large windows, massive heat loss points. Even with double glazing, hard to insulate quickly. High ceilings, heat rises, stays away from people. Larger volume means more energy to heat. Open concept, impossible to isolate one room. Heat disperses, hard to create survival zone. Old homes were different. Thick walls, 16 to 24 inches, enormous thermal mass, retains heat for hours, passive insulation. Small windows, less thermal loss, easy to cover or insulate, strategically positioned. Low ceilings, 7 to 8 feet, heat where people are, smaller volume to heat, more thermally efficient. Small rooms, easy to isolate one, concentrate heat, create a safe zone. It wasn't aesthetics, it was survival. The cost of dependence. Total energy dependence creates vulnerabilities. Financial. Energy bills skyrocketed. No control over costs. Hostage to external prices. Physical. Body loses cold adaptation. Thermal health compromised. Higher risk in emergencies. Psychological. Anxiety when systems fail. Feeling of powerlessness. Loss of autonomy. The promise of comfort. Post-World War II. The promise was clear. You'll never have to worry about cold again. Central heating, cheap, abundant energy, automatic comfort. And it worked for decades. But there was a hidden cost. Each generation that grew up with automatic heating learned a bit less about thermal survival. Grandparents still knew. Parents knew some. Children know nothing. The knowledge wasn't forbidden, it simply stopped being necessary, until it became necessary again. The illusion of security. Modern systems are incredible when they work, but they created an illusion they'll always work. And that illusion eliminated redundancy. No backup, no plan B, no alternative knowledge. The entire system rests on a single pillar. You don't need to live like before. Nobody's saying, abandon technology, live without power, go back to medieval times. But total dependence is a choice, and a fragile choice. What you can do now. 1. Create a survival zone. Identify the smallest room in your home. Prepare it. Thick blankets for windows, towels to seal doors, thermal mass materials, bricks, water bottles, proper clothing stored there. If power goes out, you have a plan. 2. Invest in real clothing. Buy at least 2 wool sweaters, wool hat, thick wool socks, gloves. Not expensive, last decades, and on a critical day, could save your life. 3. Know the signs. No hypothermia signs. Mild, intense shivering, mild confusion, coordination difficulty. Moderate, shivering stops, serious sign. Severe confusion, lethargy. Severe, no shivering, unconsciousness, risk of death. Knowing the signs can save lives. 4. Test your system. Try 1 night without heating, with proper clothing and preparation, just to feel how long it takes to cool, which clothes actually work, where cold enters, how your body reacts. Theoretical knowledge isn't enough. You need to feel it. 5. Teach the next generation. If you have children, nieces, nephews, grandchildren, teach them, not as extreme survival skill, but as useful knowledge that might be needed. The knowledge being lost, you can preserve. The fundamental principle. Warmth isn't just electricity. It never was. Warmth is understanding, strategy, adaptation, resilience. The human body already knows how to generate and conserve heat. You just need to relearn to listen to it. The day the power goes out, even for just a few hours, will reveal something uncomfortable. Most people don't know how to stay warm. Not because cold is stronger, not because we're weaker, but because knowledge was outsourced and then forgotten. Your grandparents knew. Their grandparents knew. Entire generations survived without electricity, not because they were superior, but because they had knowledge. And that knowledge still exists, still works, can still be learned. If this video changed something in you, like so more people see it, subscribe to the channel. Here we rescue knowledge that can save lives, and share with your family. They need to know this. And comment, are you prepared for 24 hours without power in winter? Knowledge was never lost, just forgotten. And you just started rediscovering it.